champion. I challenge you to Mortal Kombat.
You're no match for us.
Number 10, Siegfried and Roy, Masters of the Impossible.
When the dust demons are swept from the hearth, and the kindling's been set ablaze, the mages sit by the fire and recall a once magic world called Sarmoti.
Based on the famous Las Vegas magic duo known for their extravagant illusions and White Tiger and Lion Axe. This animated series took their real-life personas and dropped them straight into a fantasy world. The show follows Siegfried, the master illusionist.
I used to be somebody. Ancient history, Stilts. Now you're just a short, bald guy with a bad attitude.
And Roy, the animal trainer, along with his white tiger named Manticore.
Manticore, hide in here.
The trio meet in a mystical kingdom and team up to battle evil demons using a combination of stage magic and animal-assisted heroics. Because why not? Produced by Deke Productions, the series premiered on Fox Kids on February 19, 1996. It was originally meant to be a direct-to-video animated movie, but instead got chopped into 4 episodes, with hopes it could lead to a full series pickup. In fact, Siegfried himself confidently told the Las Vegas Sun, "This is only the beginning."
Alas, my public will not wait.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. The show failed to attract enough interest to justify its extremely high production cost, and the planned expansion never happened. And in one of the strangest and most tragic footnotes in cartoon history, Manticore, the white tiger featured in the series, was the same animal involved in the infamous 2003 onstage incident that effectively ended their performing careers. The duo later stated the incident was an accident, claiming the tiger was simply trying to help Roy. It's a surreal reminder that sometimes reality ends up far stranger and darker than any cartoon storyline. Number 9, Richie Rich.
Reggie is a little snitch. Everybody's ready for some fun. Come on, let's join Richie Rich.
Based on the classic Harvey Comics character, Richie Rich follows the poor little rich boy himself, the only child of the absurdly wealthy Rich family. But don't worry, the show makes it very clear that while Richie has unlimited money, his real wealth is the friends he makes along the way. The series focuses on Richie's adventures with his usual crew, including his girlfriend Gloria, his robotic maid and bodyguard Irona, his loyal dog Dollar, and the ever-useful inventions of Professor Keen Bean. Whenever trouble pops up, Richie doesn't throw punches, he throws money, or gadgets, usually both. Premiering in syndication on September 14, 1996, the show ran for a single 13-episode season. Unlike the earlier Hanna-Barbera cartoon, which aged Richie up closer to his teen years, this version went back to the basics, portraying Richie as his classic comic book self, a younger kid in his tuxedo and shorts.
Have you noticed that Richie is acting rather strange today?
No. Strange? How? Where'd you get that rag? Did Ronald McDonald have a yard sale?
The series also padded out his runtime with select Harvey Toon shorts, including the Harvey Girls and Herman and Catnip, making it feel like a mini retro animation showcase. It didn't last long, but for fans of classic Harvey comics, this version of Richie Rich felt like a faithful throwback. Number 8, Bruno the Kid.
Time for kids games, no time for girls. Helping the good guys, saving the world. Call up Bruno. Yeah, call up the kid. Yeah.
Bruno the Kid answers the age-old question: what if a top-secret super spy was an 11-year-old? Co-created and developed by Bruce Willis, the series follows Bruno, a kid who somehow becomes the #1 agent for a global espionage organization that has absolutely no idea how old he really is. Each episode revolves around Bruno juggling a double life, saving the world by day, doing homework by night, while desperately keeping his spy career hidden from his parents, teachers, and friends. It's James Bond meets Recess. And then there's the voice cast, which is absurdly stacked. Bruce Willis voices Bruno himself, backed up by Tim Curry, Ed Asner, Ed McMahon, Frank Welker, and Bronson Pinchot. That's not a cartoon cast, that's an award ceremony.
Now, here's something that no one should be without.
Wow. A pocket flashlight. Did this come with some Cracker Jacks?
The series premiered in syndication on September 23, 1996, as part of the Bobot Kids network block, and ran for a single season of 36 episodes. Despite strong reception and praise for its originality, the show didn't return, mainly due to its high production costs. Fans who remember Bruno the Kid often say it was ahead of its time, packed with clever humor and surprisingly sharp writing. Sadly, the only toys released were a handful of kids' meal giveaways from Wendy's, because even super spies aren't immune to budget cuts.
Guess where the other laser's going? Where? Yeah!
Number 7. Road Rovers.
They fight for right both day and night in every episode.
Let's roll!
Now it's time to hit the road.
Road Rovers is one of those cartoons that sounds like a parody, but was played completely straight. The series follows a team of 5 superpowered crime-fighting dogs, known as Kano Sapiens. Basically highly intelligent human-like animals created through science. Each rover lives with a different world leader, and when danger strikes, they're called together to defend the planet as the Road Rovers. Because obviously, when global security is at risk, the first call goes out to a squad of talking dogs.
Road Rovers, a new brand of evil has reared its ugly head.
Aw, man, I like the old brand.
Their main enemy is a former cat who was transformed into a Philo-Sapien after an experiment gone wrong. Unlike the Rovers, he looks mostly human, with only his cat-like ears betraying his true nature, usually hidden under a helmet for dramatic flair. Naturally, he's bent on destroying Professor Shepard and conquering the world, as all good cartoon villains are. Premiering on Kids WB on September 7th, 1996. Road Rovers lasted just 13 episodes before quietly disappearing. Despite its bizarre premise and heavy 90s attitude, the show has developed a small cult following, mostly from people who swear it aired, even if no one else seems to remember it.
Wow, it's Nickelodeon Super Toy Run!
Yeah, 5 minutes to grab everything at Toys R Us.
Okay, I got my running shoes
Get
on.
going.
Go left!
No, right!
Look, chess!
Go for the video game!
One of these would be nice!
20 would be better.
Look, telescopes! We'll need that to see all the stars!
See the stars all right.
That hurt.
Well, get going.
I got it!
Hey, take guy. Keep moving, keep moving.
But I gotta grab one for 6!
No, don't take that. No.
Cool!
Go right.
Hey, this could be you. For a chance to win, just send your name, address, age, and phone number to Super Toy Run Sweepstakes, P.O. Box 4901, Orlando, Florida 32802, or enter at any Toys R Us or Kids R Us. One grand prize winner gets a 5-minute toy run at Toys R Us. 50 first prize winners get a 20-inch Harley Davidson replica bicycle from Roadmaster. Nickelodeon Super Toy Run is brought to you by Toys R Us, Roadmaster Corporation, and the place where only kids win, Nickelodeon.
My nose!
Monster from the deep here.
Number 6. Quack Pack.
Quack Pack. Quack Pack. Quack Pack. Quack Pack. Quack Pack.
Quack Pack was Disney's attempt to give Donald Duck a much-needed 90s makeover. In this series, Donald works as a cameraman, alongside his girlfriend Daisy, a reporter for the TV show What in the World. Together, they travel the globe chasing news stories.
Should we wait for those other lazy reporters? This is Daisy Duck. We're all aboard and ready for takeoff.
With Huey, Dewey, and Louie now aged up into full-blown teenagers.
Hey there, Kate. What a surprise to see you here.
Unlike DuckTales, which took place in a world populated almost entirely by anthropomorphic animals, Quack Pack leaned back into the classic Donald Duck shorts, where Donald would interact with humans. That shift gave the show a very different tone, more grounded, more sitcom-like, and definitely more mid-90s.
And now, gentlemen, it's showtime!
Debuting on September 3rd, 1996, as part of the Disney Afternoon, The series followed the success of Goof Troop and ran for one season. While it didn't reach the heights of DuckTales, Quack Pack is remembered today as a pure 90s time capsule, complete with attitude, slang, and three nephews who finally had distinct personalities, instead of acting like a single hive mind. Number 5, Project G.K.R. Easily one of the weirdest cartoons of 1996. Project G.K.R. sounds like something you'd only discover at 7 a.m. while half asleep. And honestly, that checks out.
Something peculiar.
G.K.R., short for Genokinetic Experimental Research, is an artificial, shape-shifting being created by the sinister Mr. Moloch to be used as a living weapon. Before the project could be completed, G.K.R. is rescued by the cyborg Lady Macbeth and her dinosaur sidekick Noah. The rescue leaves G.K.R. with limited intelligence and almost no control over his powers, forcing the trio into a constant game of cat and mouse as they try to evade capture and keep Moloch from reclaiming his creation.
The very thought fills me with unutterable joy.
The show didn't just lean into chaos, it embraced it.
Should I quit doing stuff like this?
The voice cast is a greatest hits album of 90s animation royalty. Billy West, known for Doug, Ren and Stimpy, and Futurama. Cree Summer from Tiny Toons and Rugrats. Charlie Adler from Rocko's Modern Life and Ah Real Monsters. Jim Cummings, the voice of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. And of course, Brad Garrett.
Any ideas, G.K.R.?
I have an idea for a TV show. Here's the pitch. It's about this guy in a yellow jumpsuit, and he's allergic to floors.
If you watched cartoons in the 90s, you'd hear these voices 100 times. Premiering on CBS on September 14th, 1996, Project G.K.R. ran for just 13 episodes. Despite solid ratings and a genuinely funny original concept, the show became a casualty of stricter FCC regulations. The network failed to classify it as educational and informational under the newly tightened standards, sealing its fate. CBS would cancel its entire Saturday morning cartoon lineup in 1997 anyway, ending an era. And Project G.K.R. went down with the ship. Number 4, Mortal Kombat, Defenders of the Realm.
Driven by purpose and bound by honor, these are the Defenders of the Realm.
Based on the massively popular Mortal Kombat fighting games, Defenders of the Realm acted as a strange hybrid. Part alternate sequel to the 1995 live-action film, and part adaptation of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. The result was a Saturday morning version of a franchise best known for ripping spines out. The series follows a team of warriors, assembled by Raiden, to defend Earthrealm from invaders pouring in through interdimensional portals. Operating out of a secret base, Raiden and Nightwolf monitor portal activity, while the fighters scramble into action, often flying into battle aboard dragon-shaped jets. Because if you're going to sanitize Mortal Kombat for kids, you might as well give them cool vehicles. One major contribution the show did make to the franchise was the debut of Quan Chi, a character who would go on to become one of the series' most important villains in the games. That alone gives the cartoon a permanent footnote in Mortal Kombat history. Premiering on September 21st, 1996, as part of the USA Network's Action Extreme team block, right after Street Fighter the Animated Series.
We've got Street Fighter, Wing Commander, Mortal Kombat, and Savage Dragon. 4 shows that will rock, romp, stomp, chomp, and blow you out of your seat. They're all new, all original, all action!
The show lasted just 13 episodes. Fans of the games were not impressed, criticizing the toned-down violence, muted action, and kid-friendly approach to a franchise built on excess. Without the blood, fatalities, or edge, Defenders of the Realm didn't stand a chance, and it quietly vanished after just one season.
Ready?
Yeah! Duck.
Yeah.
You kick it in here. You go to the hole and dominate. We on defense.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. I don't play defense.
Warner Brothers presents Jordan, Bugs Bunny,
Special delivery! Together, they just might save the world. Space Jam. You've never seen anything like it.
Number 3, Mighty Ducks, the animated series. A lot of kids tuning into Mighty Ducks, the animated series, probably expected a cartoon version of the hit Disney movie trilogy. Instead, they got something completely different.
Wake up and smell yourself, man. You're talking about the most totally righteous duck who ever quacked. Flat out.
Aside from the name and the hockey theme, this show had almost nothing to do with the films. And that surprise alone is half the fun. The series follows a race of hockey-obsessed humanoid ducks from another planet. When the evil Dragonists take over their world, a group of rebels, known as the Mighty Ducks, manage to drive him off, only to get sucked into a dimensional portal during the battle. They crash land in Anaheim, California, where they set up a secret base beneath the Anaheim Pond, form a hockey team, and continue the fight while searching for a way back home. Each duck had their own distinct personality, skills, and weapons, blending sci-fi action with slapstick comedy, and plenty of hockey-themed chaos. The voice cast was surprisingly stacked, featuring Ian Ziering, Jim Belushi, Tim Curry, Dennis Franz, Brad Garrett, Jennifer Hale, and Frank Welker. That's a lot of talent for a show about alien ducks with hockey sticks. Premiering on September 6, 1996, as part of the Disney Afternoon on ABC. The series ran for 26 episodes. While it was short-lived, fans remember it fondly as a bizarre but charming mix of action, comedy, and 90s nostalgia. A wild sci-fi twist on a franchise no one expected to go this hard. Number 2, Cave Kids.
Everybody wants to be a cave kid!
Cave Kids was Hanna-Barbera's attempt to turn the Flintstones into a preschool-friendly educational series. And the result was, well, let's be polite and say forgettable. The show follows Pebbles Flintstone and Bam Bam Rubble as prehistoric preschoolers, with Dino the dinosaur stepping in as their surprisingly responsible babysitter. While Pebbles and Bam Bam spoke and baby talk gibberish to adults, they communicated perfectly with each other, very much like in the Rugrats.
We're in enough trouble, Bam Bam, without your bad jokes. I don't think my jokes could make things any worse. Don't be so modest.
The series leaned heavily into educational lessons, clearly aiming for a much younger audience than the original Flintstones fans. Each episode ended with a music video tied to the episode's theme, usually recycling and re-editing footage you'd already seen. And in a strange creative decision, Pebbles, Bam Bam, and Dino were the only established Flintstones characters to appear. Fred, Wilma, Barney completely gone. All of these changes stripped away most of what made the Flintstones appealing in the first place. Viewers weren't impressed and the show quietly disappeared after airing just 8 episodes, making Cave Kids one of the shortest-lived entries in Flintstones history. Number 1, Waynehead. Created by Damon Wayans, Waynehead was one of the most personal and unconventional cartoons to hit kids WB in the mid-90s. The series followed Damie Wayne, a young boy growing up poor in the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan while dealing with a club foot, a story inspired directly by Wayne's own childhood. Instead of leaning on slapstick or fantasy, Waynehead focused on imagination, resilience, and growing up in a tough environment, using Damie's daydreams as an escape from his real-life struggles. That made it very different from most cartoons airing at the time, and possibly why it didn't last. The voice cast was stacked, featuring Orlando Jones, Marlon Wayans, Shawn Wayans, Kim Wayans, Gary Coleman, and John Witherspoon, giving the show serious comedy credibility. Premiering on October 19, 1996, the series lasted just 13 episodes. According to Damon Wayans, Warner Brothers told him the show wasn't black enough and wasn't funny enough to keep on the schedule. while the network later claimed it simply suffered from low ratings. Despite its short run, Waynehead is remembered fondly by many viewers for being honest, heartfelt, and ahead of its time, making it one of the most unfairly forgotten cartoons of the 90s.